Hayden's right side.
All right, and we are back. Fantasy Fanatics on SportsTownChicago.com.
Yes, welcome back. And joining us now on the Illinois Center for Broadcasting Hotline from the Daily Blitz 61, Christian Simpson joins us. What's up, Chris?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing well. And we wanted to get your take, of course, on some people to start this week. Who are some people that maybe some fantasy owners don't necessarily know about that you should definitely be starting this week for Week 5?
Well, anybody from the New York Giants. They're playing the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons don't play a lick of defense. They can't stop anybody. They made Teddy Bridgewater look like the second coming of Randall Cunningham. That's how badly they play. They're too inconsistent, so I'm starting Eli, Rashard Jennings, Victor Cruz, Larry Donnell, any offensive player on the New York Giants. And then another guy I'm starting that's hot right now is Steve Smith of the Baltimore Ravens. He's Joe Flacco's go-to guy now. That used to be Anquan Bolden, and Steve Smith has come in and really done a lot of the dirty work for the Baltimore Ravens offense.
How do you feel about what Steve Smith said to his old team that was like running around playing with little kids?
Hey, I mean, look, he came in with a chip on his shoulder, Andrew, and I've seen a lot of great receivers over the years. Steve Smith may be the toughest because he's a small guy, but he plays a lot bigger than what he is. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he's the guy that goes up and gets the football. And, hey, he's 35 years old, and he did run around a younger defense.
Now, Chris, who are some guys that you should probably sit this week because of a tough matchup, or you just don't think they're going to be getting it done this week?
Well, I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. Andrew and I talked about this the other day.
Yes,
Tom
we did.
Brady, he's been struggling.
Yeah.
I can't really put 100% of the blame on him because you play as well as those five guys up front. Being a former offensive lineman myself, when you don't play well, that quarterback doesn't do well. And Brady just looks really out of sync. I think we saw it last year, and Andrew said that last year, too. I mean, he really hasn't had the best of weapons. Get this guy a wide receiver.
Would you play Gronkowski? Would you still play Gronk?
He's not 100%, Andrew. I mean, when Rob Gronkowski is on, I think this guy is the best tight end in the National Football League.
We saw it 2 years ago.
Right. He opens the field. When he's on, he's the best red zone threat in football. He draws a lot of attention. They try to put boxes and barricades around him, and that creates a lot of one-on-one opportunities for others around him.
Are there any other maybe sit-em options you'd recommend out there?
Oh, man. Potentially Vernon Davis. I'm hearing he may not play because I know he was injured on Sunday, so that's a possibility. And Riley Cooper, if you have him.
Do you think it's smart? Because I look at this game against the Chiefs and 49ers, and that's a big game for both teams because they're both 2-2.
Right.
Who do you think is going to come out on top in this game? And do you think it would be smart to play either one of their defenses?
Yeah, it'd definitely be smart to play either one of their defenses. I like San Fran. I think last week San Fran regained their identity, running the football, and then letting Colin Kaepernick throw the ball second. This team is a run-team offense first, and they rely heavily on good defense and winning the battle at the line of scrimmage, Ryan. And on top of that, why get away from what you like to do?
Right.
Running the football is what's gotten them the 3 NFC title games.
Would you recommend starting the Cardinals' defense against the Denver Broncos this week?
No, not at all. Peyton Manning's coming off a bye week. He's coming off a loss. Nobody preps harder after a loss than Peyton Manning. No disrespect to any quarterback who's come before Peyton Manning, but you're going to be up as a defense preparing on how to stop Peyton Manning.
All right, Ryan, who are you starting?
For me, I would definitely start Ben Roethlisberger against the Jaguars if you have Ben Roethlisberger on your team.
Or just
and I'd definitely be playing him.
I do. In one league, I do. He got me 26 points last week against Tampa Bay.
Roethlisberger doing the no-huddle offense right now. Ryan Risky, who are you starting?
Phillip Rivers.
Everyone
over the Jets.
Who wouldn't want to start Phillip? Yeah, but definitely over the Jets, who have a weak secondary. He should blow them up.
Yeah, definitely. But also be a little cautious, too, because Rex Ryan could dial it up in that front seven, and they have no problem getting after the quarterback.
Do you think that Keenan Allen will build off of his big week last week against the Jaguars?
Yeah, he definitely could, especially if that secondary is so weak. You know, D. Milner really hasn't been the guy we've expected him to be. I know this is only year 2, ever since they got rid of Darrelle Revis, this secondary just simply hasn't been the same. And San Diego played with a lot of confidence across the board, especially after that big win against Seattle.
Now, I got one question for you. What do you think about what's going on with the whole Demaryius Thomas situation? Do you think that he's going to finally break out, or do you think it might be the kind of not getting a new contract is kind of getting to him, or when do you think he's going to break out?
It could be this Sunday. Then again, I could be stretching that because he's probably going to be lined up against Patrick Peterson, and Peterson's one of the very best cornerbacks we have in our league right now because he can cover you underneath, he can play you off the ball, he can play you in his zone coverage, and he goes up and he gets the football. Him, I know he's Peyton's go-to guy, and he's probably the best player on that offense behind Peyton Manning, but hopefully we see something from him soon.
And, of course, I have Demaryius Thomas on my fantasy team, and I'm going to be starting him this week, so I hope you're right that he has a breakout game.
Recommend starting Demaryius Thomas, though, or would you, if you had a better option or another guy, do you think you should start him?
Yeah, why not? I mean, sometimes in fantasy, you got to be risky. Really. You really do. No pun intended.
Right.
All right, let's move on to drops. Ryan, who are you dropping?
But if you have the Patriots defense, I would drop them right
Panthers.
now. Because I know someone in our league has the Patriots defense and they're starting them. I would definitely drop them as far as defense is concerned because they're giving up tons of points.
And I'm dropping the Saints defense. I have the Saints defense and Andrew in my league, and
Not
they haven't
good.
been doing anything for me.
I don't know why you ever had them.
I mean, come on. All right, I'll admit, I was kind of built off the hype of last year. And
Uh-huh.
knowing Rob Ryan, I've seen a lot of him over the years, and he's a guy that likes to rush the quarterback, be physical, and get those takeaways, and they haven't done either. And I think what's hurting the Saints defense this year is their inability and the lack of tackling.
They don't have any really big players that stand out in my mind
didn't they-
And
defensively.
I don't know
signed
if you guys
Jarius
heard,
Byrd to that
Jarius
big deal.
Byrd is done for the year. He tore his meniscus.
Oh, well.
I did not even know that.
Well,
So,
he tore his meniscus.
Wow.
that's why we have
I don't
Chris
even think
here.
that Saints D has turnover this year.
No, and that's the Saints defense reminds me a lot of the Bears defense. They need those takeaways to be successful.
And before we let you go, I wanted to get your take on the Bears and Panthers game. The Panthers have been struggling recently, but the Bears, got blown out by the Packers by the end of it. Who do you think is going to come out on top in this game?
I like the Bears in this one. I think they're going to try and establish from Jay Cutler. I'm attacking that secondary because that's the weakness of the Panthers' defense. But the Bears' offensive line has to be on it. I think the matchup that's going to determine this game is the Bears' offensive line against the Panthers' front four. Because one thing about the Panthers, they don't have to load the box to get pressure on you. They can get to the quarterback with a four-man front.
And before we let you go, Chris, where can people find your work online and on the radio?
The website is dailyblitz61.com. You can follow the company on Twitter at dailyblitz_61. Like the Facebook fan page, facebook.com/dailyblitz. I'm with you guys now. Hopefully you guys will have me again.
Sure,
Of course,
for
Friday.
sure.
I'm with you guys. 2:15. That's a new time.
Yeah,
Yes,
2:15.
All
that's-
right, 2:15 on SportsTownChicago.com, and then I contribute for a show called The Sports Den as well, and that's on Ustream.tv with three great guys: Nick Russell, Paul Doobie, otherwise known as the Chef, and the ravishing one, Roy Herman. You can follow us on Twitter at The Sports Den.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for coming on the Fantasy Fanatics on SportsTownChicago.com, and enjoy the rest of your day.
No problem. You too.
And that was Chris Simpson from the Daily Blitz 61. You can follow him at DailyBlitz_61.